Food grade food. Ooh, ready to go. Doing buns in Parker House buns. Parker House buns. I mean, there's so many different. I know we're just rolling, but I just want to. They're Parker House. Our Parker House are like the little buns that just you pop open and they break open. And I think it's
the way you fold them with your fingers, right?
Yeah. So, welcome to Food Grade Food. I'm GreggEgg.
And I'm Sandie Rymal.
We are making dinner rolls. Some baking for you. Sandie made some dinner rolls and they were so good, and they reminded me of what we used to do at the bakery in these Parker House rolls, where you basically, they're about they're a dozen. They kind of look like those Hawaiian sweet
rolls,
ones, but
right.
that's how they were. But ours had a way that we folded them, and so they pop out, and they're almost like a little sandwich ready to open.
Right.
So like tea rolls.
Right.
We call them Parker House. So that's what we're gonna do, and we are measured up our ingredients, and we're kind of ready to go.
Right.
So
we got to perform some magic.
Magic.
Speaking of magic, look at this magic book.
So back in the 90s, my sister Cindy gave me a recipe book, and my dad wrote all these recipes from it. But it's like, just here, pfeffernuss. The first thing, 1.5 pounds of butter. These were like for production recipes. It's like ounces and pounds, and 2.5 pounds of white sugar, a 1/2 ounce of salt for our sugar cookies. So he wrote all the recipes, and then over the years I added stuff to it. And when I made tea rolls way back, and he kind of told me how to the tea rolls and the potato rolls, you want to do different things, and how you roll them. In the Parker House, we're going to get into it, but he wrote down how you do it. So it's really just how you roll it, and using, instead of flour, you're using oil to wipe it, and you quickly roll it and fold it, put it in the bun, and let it roll. So we're going to try to do that. Well, we're not going to try. We're going to do it. It's going to be.
And we're going to take the other half of the dough and make round.
Right.
rolls.
So you want to make round, and I'm going to make. So I'm going to make
yours.
6
Yours
Parker
goes
House,
like
and you're
this.
going to make a little.
Right.
So
Gonna be
So
good.
what's our first step?
First step is sifting the flour.
Sift some flour. What are our ingredients? It's
Flour, salt, yeast, eggs. That's about it. Water, milk.
So I'll sift 4 pounds.
4 pounds.
4
yes.
pounds
Yeah.
of flour. No, I'm going to do 4 cups of flour.
4.5. We'll keep
Or we
rolling.
just keep rolling and go. Oh shit! That's nice. I've never been for being tidy, secrets at the bakery was sifting flour for everything. Everything had to go through several sifters to break up the clumps, break up the production, weirdness, and even this, you get these weird hard chunks of stuff that you don't want in your stuff. So sift your flour in every situation and you'll be happy. And that goes for sugar, powdered sugar.
A very important step is heating the water
Between 120 and 130 degrees.
so the yeast gets activated. Put the yeast in.
1/4 cup of water.
Start working. It's magic. What we need is this salt to be incorporated in that. Just
All right.
stir it a little bit if you would. This was the egg and milk mixture.
You took the warm water and put the yeast in it.
Right.
You take that and let it sit for a second.
Right.
Then you took
The egg and milk
the egg
mixture.
and milk. You mix that. How much was that?
It was a half a cup of milk and 2 eggs.
And you mix those up really lightly.
Right.
And
I just
so-
stirred them up
So
with a
now
fork.
you took the yeast that was just that
Yes.
mixing up and put it all together.
Right. Right. And then you've got the flour and salt over here. And we're going to let that go for a minute and then start with just 2 cups of the flour and then let that mix around and then add a little more and a little more. We've all done the real fast once when it goes all over. It's a bad day in baking world. Oops. Hello, beautiful. It's so alive.
It kind of is.
Making living art, edible art. Looking good.
Organism there.
Do a little bit more. Down. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
That's looking real good.
You're going for that texture.
Just keep kind of moving it around and
Looks really
it
good.
feels so great. This is therapeutic, you know?
Yeah.
It is. And then toss a little bit of oil in that pan if you would, so it doesn't stick.
Versus flour.
Because the flour would make the whole thing thicker. It would just get clumpy and it would still stick. Perfect.
So it's gonna grow.
Kind of roll it around in there a little bit. And that's that. Yes, actually, I want to do this first, though. A little bit of plastic wrap. It helps hold the heat in a little bit more. And then the towel. So, just like this. And then we are so blessed with a gas stove because we can just sit this in the oven.
And grow and grow.
Check in an hour.
So we'll put a timer on for an hour.
Sounds good.
And check back. That's gonna proof up, as they say, for an hour, and we'll check you back in a second. All right.
Perfect.
So, look at that.
So pretty. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Hold
Let's
on a
do
second. You're gonna go over there.
All right,
Did-
let this in half.
Okay.
And what we do is just take your fingers and kind of dig it out.
Yes.
Maybe do it a couple of times in the flour if you want. And then cut it in half.
I'm not gonna need it too much. Oh my gosh, this reminds me so much of a bakery. What we used to do, they just like, they would have a huge thing like this and they'd roll it into a big thing like that. And
So you guys did bread
oh, see, I got
and
5.
cookies and cakes, wedding
We
cakes.
did everything. There was nothing we didn't do. They did just
Man.
everything, you know.
Right?
cakes, rolls, eclairs, date bars. My dad has a recipe for the date bars, and he was so into date bars. And if he would see how many power bars are now and all of that stuff, he'd be out of his mind.
And
my dad was blazing making
so fast. Well, they did it all day.
Well, yeah.
This reminds me of when I was married to the Assyrians. They would do a Christmas bread and date and chopped walnuts, and like this could be filled with, like they would make it long and make a log and then cut them. So good. Just do them any way you want. Your circus, your monkeys.
Totally. I wanted a monkey so bad when I was little.
That would have been perfect.
Yeah. That's how I got through church. Whenever I looked, my imaginary monkey could like go. So he was like all over the place. I'd be like,
That's awesome.
These are perfect where they're at.
And we each get egg wash for the top if we want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put mine down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you can have all the rest of that.
Little oil.
Okay, yeah. Show me how you do that. So these are the original, the real Parker house, because of the shape.
Right.
Right.
So you little oil and for the.
Oh, I see.
And then you
Got it. Oh,
fold it over.
that's why it makes a little sandwich bread.
Right.
And these you just have to use your brute strength and tear it.
Right.
It's not too hard, but you know. Or if all else fails, you can get a knife.
It's like ripping apart. Sit for a second. Look at those beautiful things.
Beautiful. Now I'm going to leave this and let you do your own. Oh, pretty.
At the bakery, they would all be the same size.
You could probably tell like volume just in your hand, right? I can't.
Oh yeah.
Like if I'm making these or a cookie dough or meatball. Yeah, I think we should let them sit a while.
Probably another 20 minutes, half hour.
I think so.
Okay.
And I would say sit it up here
All right, right.
because this is already hot. Just set it right up there. Perfect.
There you go. We're gonna let those proof up. Oh, yeah, buns. Buns, buns, buns. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a bakery right there. Oh, my God. Brings back some memories. Hey, thanks for showing up. Thanks for seeing what we're doing. Share, like, send it out. Subscribe. Send some comments. Let me know what you guys want me to make, maybe. Whatever. We have some things planned for Food Grade Food. Thanks for watching. Food Grade Food. See you at the next show. Peace. Eat food grade food.